Hey guys, welcome in. It's me, Pigeon Wishes, your resident Pigeon Fae from the UK. And today we're doing more methods. We're doing more methods. Eventually you guys will get tired of this game. Hopefully when it's finished. Hi Mort, hi Debbie. How's everyone doing today? We're going to see how stream goes today, because I have tummy hurted disease and tummy hurted. So we'll see. We'll see if tummies stop hurting once I start streaming properly, once I've got into it. Also, hi Mort. Hi Mura. I feel like I've said Mort already. Nah, it's not eating anything. I don't know what it is. Just tummy hurt. Tummy hurt, so we'll see how stream goes. We'll see how stream goes. Hopefully it's fine. Well, no. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you just get tummy hurt for no reason. Sometimes tummy just hurt. As is life. Hot girl problems. Hot girl problems, tummy hurt. This is true, Debbie. Hot girl have tummy problem. This is real and true. Everyone knows. I just got done posting like a bunch of fan emotes, so I'm kind of like in a nervous, excited mood as well to see like how the posts do. Cause like I've been working on them since last night. Me and Junie have decided to make a pact where I keep her accountable for who she makes models for, and or I tell her who she should make models for next, and she tells me who I should make emotes for next. Like, because that's what we do for each other. We're just keeping each other accountable for our art stuff now. We had a chat about it on Monday, I think, where we were like, "Ooh, you've got your 18 Steam streak. Nice." Honestly, the fact that anyone manages to get a streak with fucking my streams is incredible. Is like baffling to me. The fact that anyone manages to get a fucking stream streak at all on my shit is confusing and befuddling. I'm gonna have a sippy now. And I'm gonna see if drinking more helps with the tummy hurt. I'm trying to remember who has the longest stream streak. Someone has like a stupidly long one. Or had a stupidly long one at one point. Yeah, Sadweebs has got 85. And Mura had 85 as well. Yeah, you've got 93 now. Which is fucking insane. I was scrolling down to when it last told me what your stream streak was, because it pops up every so often. Not all the time, just like sometimes it pops up and tells me what streak people are on, if they get like a high number. But it's fucking insane that Mura's been watching like almost 100 of the streams in a row. You've watched me play some fucking bullshit. You've watched me play some real bullshit at this point. Some fucking bangers, but also some bullshit. Mura is the OG. Mura's great. We love Mura. I love everyone that comes and watches me play. Like, I love everyone that comes and watches me play. You guys just hang out with me while I play detective games, and that's great for me. That's great for me. This works fine. I love playing detective games and then just having people watch me play them. So that I look very smart, when really I am big dumb. We need to play that Phoenix Wright game again. I need to make a list of games that we started that I actually want to finish. Because there's a couple of the games that we started that I'm happy to just, like, leave and not finish. But I kind of do want to finish the Phoenix Wright one we started. I kind of want to finish the Lovecraft one we started. There's like a couple of them. This one, obviously, I want to finish. And then it'll be a while before we play the prequel. Because they've got the prequel, which is the Canada game. And I think after this, I'm going to need a break from this game series, because it's a lot of voices. This is a lot of voices for me to do. 200 odd characters is fucking insane. And I think I've only reused like a couple of the voices. Mostly the really easy ones, for characters who only show up like once or twice. Also, thank you, Devi. But I am big dumb sometimes. There is categorical proof that sometimes I am big dumb. We're all a little bit big dumb sometimes. Right. Right. What happened last time? Last time, we played as the prisoners for most of it. But we, like, switched perspectives and we're playing as the prisoners and the prisoner watchers. And I think we're back to the detective side today. So let's get into it so we can try and get through the 10 chapters that I want to try and get through today. Let's try and get through these 10 chapters for today. Because we're on 71. God. If we get... There's 100 odd chapters, meaning we've got like another 30 chapters. That's at minimum another like 3-4 streams, depending. Chapter 71. The mansion awaits. The cruise ship has departed from the prison and is heading towards the location of the 5th stage. A mysterious mansion. Will the game master finally reveal his identity to the detectives? Oh yeah! Last time the detectives fucked up everything, and now the number 5 has to reveal himself to hit them. 4 days later. I was relieved to finally be off that cruise ship. The game master hadn't spoken to us since the prison. And we're playing as her. Okay. We were all waiting for answers. My taxi pulled into a long driveway. I was not aware of where I was. I didn't recognize the mansion in front of me. Yeah, because the number 5, the guy, the original game master, and the one who does everything, he said that he spent $3 million to build a mansion out in the middle of nowhere for this game specifically. Which, honestly, not that surprising considering he built a fucking prison on an island. He hired the Empire State Building. Like, this guy is richest man to ever live. And all he wants to do is silly puzzles. So this was the 5th stage's location. After the lies and distrust, could we finally learn the truth? About the contest. He's Jeff Bezos if Jeff Bezos was mixed with the Riddler. If Jeff Bezos was also the Riddler. All I knew was that the Game Master had better do what he promised. It was a long walk to the mansion. Oh yeah! So this character that we're playing as now, she's got like a health problem or something, or her method. We're not sure what it is, but we know that whatever it is gives her essentially the symptoms of anemia. So she's relatable. The door swung open, and I entered. The 5th stage. CGI? In my game? A transition? What the fuck? That's never happened before. They've not done that before, that's new. The budget for this game apparently improved for the fifth chunk of chapters. Apparently they had a budget increase at some point and were able to do sliding pan shot. Good for them. And it stuttered the fuck out. Amazing. Congratulations on your budget increase for your very glitchy cutscene. It gave a lot to the game. And that's not a joke, I'm not joking. It gave a lot to the game. It gave a lot to my personal enjoyment. Seeing the cutscenes stutter forward. I'm gonna blame my computer for that one. Detectives. My favourite detectives. Wonderful, you're here. Without further ado, these are the winners of the 5th round of the 4th stage. Number 10. Detective Ines. With her method of empathy, Detective Ines shot up the ranking during Stage 3. In Stage 4, she solidified her position as one of the better detectives in the contest. Her quiet wit and clear-headed nature makes her an effective leader. Could she be the best detective to defeat the mastermind in Stage 6? Was the Game Master trying to flatter me? Oh yeah, we're down a bunch of detectives now, aren't we? I keep forgetting that every so often a bunch of detectives get kicked out. And eventually it's just going to be like a handful of detectives that we start seeing the same ones over again. Detective Evereve, through her method, seems completely fake. Somehow it works for her. Evereve was always close to the top, but it was the 4th stage where she landed solidly in the top tier of detectives. Could a completely hokey method be the way to defeat the mastermind? Probably. Just give me a chance. Oh, fucking hell. Of course it's Detective Asmongold fucking is still here. How is he still here? I thought he would have been kicked out during the train. Oh no, they said there hasn't been anyone kicked out yet since the train, has there? No, he is. He's Detective Asmongold. He's apparently got a really gross method that they won't talk about. And he, like, hates everyone. He talks like Asmongold. Like, he's a dick. In 8th place, Detective Noman. Though his method creeps me out, he does manage to solve the mysteries. After lagging behind for the first 3 stages, he shot up quite quickly during Stage 4. Could his willingness to go to darker places help him in facing the mastermind? Shut up, Game Master. You're full of it, and this contest is pointless. This is a new girl. She's new. Ranked 7th, Detective Salette. I'm not going to say much about her, because I'm very frightened. Detective Salette's violent ways are well known in the contest. She climbed to the top during Stage 2. Will she solve the mystery or punch the mastermind to death? Oh, who are you people? Where am I? Is there something to destroy? When's the mystery? When's the mystery? When's the mystery? Bothersome. Oh, yippee! She's still here. I like her. In 6th place, Detective Mackle. Detective Mackle's method seemed boring at first, until he realised that it's extremely useful for trick-based mysteries, like the ones in the contest. She started rising up the ranks during Stage 3 and has remained in the top ever since. Will her familiarity with evidence give her the foundation she needs to take on the mastermind? Still waiting for the game master to finally tell us why he hired a bunch of criminals to run it. Has that happened yet? No, he just keeps talking. Oh, he's number 5 now. He shot down a lot. He was number 3. In 5th place, Detective 795. How did a detective who does nothing but goof off stay in 3rd place almost the entire contest? The real question is, how did he sink to 5th? The answer is, the 5th round of stage 4 was so easy that a very old detective snuck ahead. Will his wackiness and be the thing to defeat the mastermind? Only if the mastermind has a sophisticated sense of humor and a vast intelligence required to comprehend my dark jokes. Detective Esther managed to make it in. She was an early high ranker and continued that winning streak consistently. She's not one to underestimate, despite her somewhat kooky method. Will she be able to dream her way out of the mastermind's tricks? I didn't know I would be getting tricked. Now I'm not so sure about this. Oh well. Detective Raoul ranked 3rd. The other detectives seem fond of Detective Raoul. She seems to get along with everyone. Her blindness could be a weakness, but she's turned it into a strength. Will her extra sensitivity and intelligence be enough to defeat the mastermind? Hey everyone, can't believe I made it here. What a nice place to hold the 5th stage. As anticipated, number 2 is Detective Slakes. Detective Slakes actually had 2 jobs in the contest, working on both sides. However, his alter ego, Sickhouse, is actually eliminated from the criminal side of the competition. Will his familiarity with criminals help him take down the mastermind? I don't know, probably. Did we find out why the game master is hiding the criminals yet? No. Finally, the detective ranked 1st. Red July. Hardly surprising to anyone, Red July has been ranked 1st for almost the entire competition. A unique and all-encompassing method makes her an extremely gifted opponent. If she goes up against the mastermind, she's almost certain to win. Success is about honing mental development. Everyone has developed during the contest. It'll be hard for them to beat me, but they have a shot. Gee, thanks. Okay, without further ado, let's begin the... Hold on. Where are you? You said if we reached the 5th stage, you would reveal your true identity. So if you don't show up right now, I'm walking out of here. I will leave as well. Well, you see, I haven't broken my promise. I never said I would appear at the beginning of the stage. Therefore, yeah, I'm done. Goodbye. How can we trust you after this? Of course you can trust me. You're ruining the exciting mood. You ruined it first, by not being honest. Looks like the cool thing to do is leave, so bye. Come back. Fine. Fine. I will reveal my identity right now, but just know I have prepared for this to be much more dramatic. What is happening? He's rushing down the stairs. Oh, he tripped. Now he's reaching for his light socket. Yes, here I am. At least last we meet detectives. Conver, Conver, you're great. I love you, Conver. Conver's great. This stupid ass idiot fucking decided to run down the stairs in the dark and fucking fell over. This dumbass bitch fell down the stairs because he decided to run around in the dark for dramatic effect. I love you. You're great. You word search ass. His word search ass fucking fell down the stairs. Call that a word scramble. I think I'm funny. Debbie agrees. Debbie thinks I'm funny. This character's very good.
At last we meet detectives.
I know you. The CEO of Violet Security. What's your name again?
Conver Velasquez. CEO of Ice Forest Violet Security. Violet Security has offices worldwide. We specialize in AI-enhanced security systems that learn when to shut off and on, facial recognition, and can scare burglars off with sound cannons and other military-grade weaponry.
Chilling. Well, this is great, but it explains nothing.
Oh no, as I said, it explains everything. It means you know I can be thoroughly trusted. Did you really think I would hire criminals without knowing their every step and every movement? The criminal game masters are so massively surveilled, it's like they never left prison.
But why hire them at all? I think I know. Because it's my method to get into the mind of a criminal. Likewise, in order to oversee the criminals, you need a criminal mind.
Precisely. Only a bunch of murderers would know how to get the criminal side of the competition in line. And I hire only the best murderers. Murderers from past contests.
The only question he hasn't answered is the purpose of the contest.
Sorry, I can only tell the winner of the competition. Assuming there is a winner. Since you are all so eager to run away just moments ago. But take your time to decide. 1 minute of time, to be precise. If you don't decide before then, you will lose the contest automatically. Your choice.
I can't say he seems that much more trustworthy. But at least we can hold him accountable now that we know his identity. Have a good drawing sesh, Dev. You'll have to show me what you're working on after, unless you're working on your thesis. Then show me anyway. Accountable. And this guy is CEO. And you're saying we'll be able to hold him accountable? That's laughable.
It's not laughable if someone like Reguli is the one trying to hold me accountable.
He's right. Some security company CEO is nobody compared to Reguli. The public would turn against him if he ever went after him. True. Makes sense to me. I've known about Violet Security for a while now. I recognize the cameras and the competition was using, but I never thought the CEO would be the one running it. Some detective I am. Are you going to stay in the contest, Michael? Might as well. Come this far. There's a joke I heard once about a basket full of eggs. No, it's a saying. No, a chicken is carrying a basket full of eggs, and then she crossed the road and was killed. But the eggs made it to the other side. The point is, don't put your eggs in one chicken. What was the actual point of that? We only met one game master, right? Weren't there 4 other ones according to Haney's message?
There are 8 more. You want to meet them? Fine. You're all so demanding.
Wow, I didn't really think this would be happening this early. They look way worse in real life than on the monitor. Told you so. They look foolish. Regile's outfit is bothering me. Not my shade.
I'm getting choked up with emotion. I'm seeing them in the flesh.
What nice flesh they have. Don't be gross, you'll disturb them away.
Finally satisfied, detectives.
Who are these weirdos?
Is it time to destroy yet?
Soon. These are the people running the show. Oh look, there's Melly. Hi Melly. I thought so. Well, I was told. I'm disappointed. These are really game masters. No cool masks, no cool suits. What do they look like? Anyone?
Have I done enough for you? Do you trust me yet? I really don't care. Time's up. Are you leaving or staying?
Oh, I'm definitely staying now. Yes, now that we've seen the Game Master's faces, we have more confidence in the contest.
Sounds like you're all in agreement. Now this stage has new rules, so please pay attention. In the rooms of this mansion, you will find various mysteries.
I do not like this downward angle of you, Conver. Move your angle up. This is not a flattering angle for you. Conver, move that camera upwards. That is not a flattering angle. I love you, but this is not flattering.
There are definitely 10 of you. However, there are only 8 mystery rooms. 1 detective per room. 2 detectives who will fail to get in a room in time will be eliminated. However, if one of the detectives gives the wrong answer to the mystery, the room will unlock for one of them to solve it. Instead of a time-based rankings, we'll be judging detectives based on skill. Therefore, there are simply too many detectives before there were simply too many detectives to do this. But now you will all have the 8 game masters watching over you personally. You will stay in the rooms until every detective has finished solving their mystery. Hurry to your rooms.
It was all happening so fast.
Now.
I stumbled up the stairs. The others were rushing everywhere. There has been a budget increase or something, because there's a lot more CGs in this section. I wonder if it's because there's just so many less characters. Because this is like a big jump in CGs. For those who don't know, CGs just means unique art screens. Previously, we'd seen the screens like this when there's no characters, but there's a lot more like artwork now. Like, of the characters drawn doing things. I wonder if it's because there's only 10 detectives left. Or whether it is because, like, they got something else. Maybe they just left all the budget for the last half of the game. And entered. Hello, it's me, everyone's favourite game master, Mel. Okay, I'm gonna do the voices now for the characters instead of the game master voice. Because if they're gonna say who's actually talking, I don't have to do my generic this could be any of them voice. It's me, everyone's favourite game master, Melee. Don't worry, I'm one of the detective ones. Let's have fun with the penultimate stage, okay? Here's your case file. Case file. Stage 5, kitchen. Lethal snack. Miss Sipper died at 5 p.m. Oh my god, it's me! I died at 5 p.m. Miss Sipper. That's me. I do a big sippy. That's me. Can't believe it. I can't believe this. They fucking killed me in this game. The only way that could be more perfect is if it said pigeon instead of sippy. Miss Sipper died at 5 p.m. She enjoyed tasting the food while the chef, Mr. Blay, prepared the dinner for the mansion. Mr. Blay swears her death was accidental. You do not have access to the autopsy report. She's blue, so it's poison. Or asphyxiation. Looks fun. I don't know who came up with this. It looks pretty good, huh? Have a nice time. It was a small kitchen. The only thing to do was get... Ouch. Get started. No! So if I died at 5 p.m, which is what the thing said, I will have died... Well, it's just past 11 o'clock now. So... 6 hours ago. 6 hours ago I would have died in my time. I've been dead for 6 hours, chat. Let's see if we can solve it. I'd love to make a detective visual novel. If I ever get big and have the funding, I think it'd be really fun for a debut to make a visual novel. Me and the Spooky Girls before have talked about making a fucking Otome game. as well, like a horror otome game. If we all ever had the money and got big enough. I think it'd just be fun to make a game as a VTuber. That's the dream. A game, a cosplay, and a ball-jointed doll. That's the dream. I think that's like my goals. My goals for as a VTuber are like a ball-jointed doll done by someone like the Moonlight Dolls. That fucking mwah. An otome game. Or a detective game. Or both. And like to do a cosplay of my character. That's my big 3 goals. The blender appeared to still have a bit of beverage in it. A bowl of some kind of fruit was nearby. They look like bell peppers. Or is it a papaya? No, what's that? I know what this fruit is. I'm going to look it up. Green fruit, pink inside. I know what this fruit is. What's it fucking called? A guava. I think it's a guava. Right? I think those are like a low poly guava. Put them in the pear wiggler. We'll find out. We'll find out what they are. The game will probably tell us. It's probably important, but I wanted to guess. I like guava. Guava yummy. Mmm. Yummy. They look strange. But I remembered what they were. Starfruit. That's not a fucking starfruit. Game, that's not a starfruit. A starfruit is like yellow. Like bright yellow. Those are green. Whoever made this game is colorblind. Whoever made this game is colorblind and they hate me specifically. Because that's green. That's not yellow, that's green. That's just straight up green. And I know I'm not colorblind because I had my eyes tested last year. And they said that I have perfect 20/20 vision and full colour cones. Meaning I can see colours that other people can't. Because they did a test for it and they were like, huh, look at this interesting thing. You actually have slightly more colour cones. You can actually see colours that other people can't. So, I'm like a fucking mantis shrimp. I'm like a fucking mantis shrimp. I can see special colours. Starfruit. How do I describe a starfruit? I've never had one. Are they called a false mango? Let me see. No. They're not really like a false mango. What's a... Those are called Diabloco Moloco. They're called like... Yeah, they're not a starfruit, they're like a different thing. But they're also from Metal Gear. And I don't think they're real. No, they might be. They might be real. I know that they're in Metal Gear. Like, I know they're in Metal Gear Solid 3. But, like, no, a starfruit is yellow, like bright yellow in the shape of a star. So the shape is right, but the colour is all wrong. A starfruit smoothie? It would probably have been not too good. Yeah, I've heard starfruit is overrated. So, look, when I'm looking here, they're saying that the star apple, which is what I think it's probably the literal translation of that fruit in Metal Gear Solid, it is real, but they're kind of hard to get hold of. They're like a very seasonal fruit that only grows in like one country, but they are real. It doesn't say what they taste like. I would like to know what they taste like. Probably still not as good as guava. Guava's fucking good. Dragon fruit, overrated. Guava is where it is at. Fucking love guava juice. I also fucking love pomegranate. Pomegranate is like my favourite. Pomegranate's the shit. I would kill for one. I would kill for a pomegranate right now, actually. Or just like guava juice. Num 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 num. We're talking about fruit and now I want fruit. But all I've got in the house are oranges and I don't want oranges. I want like grapes or guava. I should go to the shop tomorrow and see if I can buy a bottle of like guava smoothie. Because that is a thing that you can get over here, is guava juice in like a little paper sippy. I should see if I can find some tomorrow. I'm putting that on my like, go to the corner shop tomorrow, get some salty and salty popcorn and a thing of guava juice. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Oh, I'm so fucking jealous. I wish we could grow pomegranates over here in this country, but it's too cold. When I was in fucking Greece, that was incredible. Because they just had like all sorts of shit just growing. Because it's warm there most of the year. Warm enough to grow a lot of it most of the year. I'm jelly. I'm major jelly. I fucking love pomegranates. Love pomegranates. They're so good. And they also make you feel like, I don't know, I like pomegranates because they taste good to me, but I also like pomegranates because they have that visceral like when you eat a pomegranate and you tear it apart to get to the seeds, it has a visceral like, yes, ripping my enemy's heart out of their chest and eating it vibe. It has a visceral, I've just ripped my enemy's heart out of my chest and now I'm gonna eat it vibe. That I appreciate. And then they stain your fingers black. If they're a good one, they stain your fingers black while you're eating them. And like that's also a whole vibe. Pomegranates are great. Pomegranates are great. They have such a they're not just delicious, they also have such a vibe. And they're very good for you. They have like a lot of vitamin C. And iron, if I'm remembering correctly. They have a lot of iron. If I was remembering the taste of starfruit correctly. A taste from my youth. Youth. Where had it gone? Oh, is she just like... Is the reason that she's like holding on to all of the surfaces and acting kind of anemic just because she's old? Just girly things, Mort. Just girly things. Every girl wants to get the vibe that they've just ripped their enemy's heart out of their chest and they're gonna eat it a la Jennifer's body. Every girl wants to feel kind of like that scene in Jennifer's Body where she rips the guy's heart out and then starts eating it. This is a universal experience. You can ask any girl. I think that they would say, yeah, no, that's a vibe. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole thing. It's like a thing. I'm not joking with you. I'm being completely serious. A lot of girls like the vibe of, like, eating the hearts of their enemies. Right. Looked gross. What is that? But suddenly, I felt a hair on my body rise as a cold spike of fear jabbed into my spine. This looked like pufferfish. Does it? A meal that could be very deadly. Does it look like fugu? I think this is just a texturing issue. The long slab looks like fish. But the stuff on the side and the thing on the plate doesn't particularly look like fish to me. That looks like pork. And then the stuff on the side, I guess, is supposed to be the giblets and the offal. But it doesn't particularly look like fugu to me. Then again, I've never had fugu in real life. I wouldn't risk it. It's one of those foods that I'm like, you know what? I could live without it. Good on people who try it, but I wouldn't. A glass on the counter. Wouldn't be there if it didn't mean something. It was completely clean and empty. Mrs. Sipper. This is where my method could come into play. I felt a sharp pain in my kidney. I felt itchiness all over my skin. Itchy skin and pain in my kidney. That was also what the victim felt when she died. Oh, that's her ability. She's got that fucking... It's in a lot of medical TV shows, but no, there's like been like maybe 1 or 2 cases of it in real life. And people with high empathy have it to some degree, where you're physically capable of feeling other people's pain in your body. I have it a little bit. Which is fun, living with a disabled mother, when you have the ability to feel like other people's pain in your own body. Because she'll be like, I have a headache, and then she'll tell me, and then for the rest of the day I will also have a headache that I didn't have before. Or like, she'll be like, my hip hurts, and then sympathetically, my knee will start hurting. Because I have a knee injury. It's weird how it works. Sympathetic pain. Some men get it when their wives are pregnant. They can sympathetically have some of the symptoms of pregnancy. Very interesting, actually. MPEG real. MPEG real. Science proven MPEG. I found all the evidence. What could it all mean? The victim. I felt something in the kidney, and yet, that's strange. Because the murder weapon in this mystery is clearly... Right. The pufferfish. It's got to be the murder weapon. The victim is blue, so the chef must have prepared the dish poorly. But, didn't explain what I felt. Pufferfish poisoning. Wouldn't feel like that. I would feel numbness in my mouth, dizziness, prickling over my body, rapid heart rate, decreased blood pressure, muscle paralysis. I wouldn't be able to breathe, because pufferfish tetrodotoxin paralyzes the diaphragm. Because I've been at so many crime scenes, I knew how tetrodotoxin felt. But was I right about this? Looked at the dish again. Being familiar with the preparation of pufferfish, I could tell the chef had actually prepared it correctly. He cut out the liver, ovaries, brain, eyes and intestines. All of the toxic parts of the fish. So what could I be feeling? What was left? The empty glass? Maybe she drank something? The starfruit smoothie? Maybe. Starfruit, could it be... Had she had starfruit? Yes. Starfruit. Starfruit can be toxic. It's got something called cambroxin. Right. That explains the itchiness. It's a sign of kidney disease. People with kidney disease are at risk of dying from consuming starfruit. There's no way Mr. Blay didn't know about her kidney condition. So that means he must have deliberately given her a starfruit smoothie. Which makes this a murder, not an accident. After all. There was still a problem. The empty glass. No sign of being used. Which I found odd. So if she hadn't drank from the glass, then how come she had got poisoned by starfruit? When the chef made the smoothie, he must have cut the starfruit using the knife. If he didn't wipe it off, the juice would still be on the blade. It had an ironic bent to it. Even the chef had successfully prevented pufferfish poisoning. Mrs. Sipper had tasted the starfruit juice, which had transferred to the fish with the knife. So, yeah. Real life. this is true. You can't have starfruit on certain medications, same as you can't have grapefruit on certain medications, because they have a thing that makes your blood clot. No, actually, it's the opposite. They're a blood thinner, a very weak blood thinner. But if you have grapefruit while you are also on blood thinners, something in the grapefruit doubles the effectiveness of the blood thinners. So you can't have grapefruit, you can't have starfruit. There's some other fruits as well where they're like, don't have this, it will make your blood thinners extra effective. And having double the dosage of blood thinner in your system, basically, will like cause you to have a heart attack and die. Or cause your kidneys to go into renal failure. But there, this means this guy is really bad at kitchen prep, because you should always use a different knife for your meats and anything else. In fact, Japanese kitchens who do prepare fugu, they have a specific rule where there is one knife that is only used to prepare fugu, and if they even nick part of the stuff that you have to cut out of the fugu to make it safe to eat, they have to immediately throw away everything. The cutting board has to be replaced, the knife has to be replaced with a new knife, like, they've got to immediately clean the entire area. It's very, like, they have like a whole system to get an actual certification to sell fugu. There's a lot that goes into it. It's really interesting. I learned this because of a murder program. And like disproving ways that people get scared that they're going to die. And like showing how uncommon and hard it would actually be to die from those methods. Because the chances of dying from fugu are not 0%. There is a risk, always a risk. But there is also but they are very strict. And if a person, they have to get their license redone every year. And if they fail even a little bit, they have their license taken off them and they're not even allowed to buy fugu. I watch a lot of murder programs more. This is not surprising. It's what I do all day. I watch murder programs and police cam footage. I find it interesting. It's not good for your mental health because it makes you feel like shit. How bad the police system works and the justice system in America, because most of the programs are American. But like, so it makes you feel like shit. But like, they are rather interesting for someone who likes detectives and murder. It seemed to be the right solution. Also, I stopped doing her accent because if we're going to be talking like her a lot, I think that accent is kind of hard for me to do a lot. I wasn't expecting to play as her. I honestly thought she was going to get kicked out of the competition. I could feel it. Submit. I was going to feel the effects of the camera boxing for a while. The solution you submitted was correct. However, you made a few errors. Your ranking may suffer as a result, as we judge you. Oh well. Okay, so I know you usually let you go here, but according to the rules of the stage, you have to remain in the room until everyone's finished solving the mysteries. Got it. Awesome. I can entertain you in the meantime. What kinds of stuff do you like? Actually, that's kind of boring, huh? I tried not to let the game master distract me. Who was winning the contest? I hoped I'd done a good job. She has got a really shit tactic, hasn't she? So, you're not wrong. It's not pufferfish that's used for it, though. For the, like, putting someone in a fake death state. It's a certain type of berry that has a similar chemical. I'm trying to think of it. Let me look it up. Like, there's not any of them. So PSA, do not do any chemicals thinking that you can fake your death. None of these chemicals are safe. They are actively causing you heart and kidney and liver damage every time you try and do it. Even a little bit of any of these chemicals that you are not a medical expert. None of you are medical experts. Do not fucking do this. I will not be responsible for any of you guys being a fucking idiot and deciding to try and eat a chemical to for research purposes or something. There's my legal waiver. All of you agree to this by watching this stream. But tetrodotoxin can be used, yes. It slows your heart rate down. Wouldn't work nowadays. But back in the Heian period, which was the period of time in the Mermaid's Curse, the Heian period, the samurai period, it was used by certain samurai in very, very small doses to slow their heart rate down enough that people might think they're dead. Because back then they didn't know what they were checking for. You've got Kyurei, which is a plant. The plant when I'm talking about, that's used in voodoo rituals and stuff, and I think in the southern states of America, in the Creole cultures and stuff as well, it's used. But a Kyurei, it's paralytic. It's used in hunting, or it was used in hunting by certain native tribes, because it paralyzes the skeletal muscles, which it doesn't stop the heart, but it stops them being able to breathe, because it literally freezes all of their muscles. You've got barbitrates. That's a more medical chemical used, which is pentobarbital. I can't pronounce that word. That in high doses can mimic death, but that's by inducing a coma. So you're fucked if you do that, basically, because it induces a coma. You can't wake yourself up from a coma, someone has to. And then ketamine can also. Ketamine can, but that's more because it induces disassociation. So yeah, don't do any of that. But yes, there are several things that have been used historically to fake your death. None of them would work nowadays. None of that would work nowadays, because we've got ways to check heart rate. We've got ways to check breathing and stuff. None of those methods would work anymore. Right, chapter 72. Unblink. The 5th stage has begun. After some game master Conver finally reveals his identity to the detectives, they trust him enough to continue with the mysterious contest. The only question now is, who will win the 5th stage? I wonder if we get to decide who wins by answering correctly first time. This was crazy. I was feeling a bit of imposter syndrome. How did I get to the 5th stage? There are so many more capable detectives. Like Swinger. Like Caprice. Maine, Russell, that cool-eyed Genta. What happened to him? They'd all fallen somehow. I have to make them proud.
Hurry to your rooms. Now.
I sprinted as fast as I could to the nearest door. No one was gaining on me, but I had been half a second faster than him. Almost there. I was in. Well, now, I'm embarrassed that you've seen my face. I'm Game Master King.
Yes, I'm a criminal, but all I do is suffocate people. Nothing too crazy.
Actually, that's pretty terrible of you.
Oh, don't say that. Once you get to know me, I'm a pretty nice guy. Here's your case file.
During a mysterious seance at 6 p.m, Miss Spook died, seemingly killed by the ghost of her ex-husband. As the medium, Mr. Voyant, claims, you do not have access to the autopsy report. Stage 5, Parlour. Spirited murder. Mrs. Spooked, Miss Voyant, Mr. Ghost.
Wow, you couldn't have picked a better room. This mystery is right up your alley. Have fun.
Wasn't sure if I should have thanked him. He was a criminal after all. And apparently I'd been surveilled the whole time. Well, it was time to pay attention to the mystery. I prayed I was up for the challenge. I still haven't decided on a voice for her. I feel like that it should be something mysticky, but I can't think of a mysticky sounding voice. The table they used for the seance. From my own experience, I know better than to take such things at face value. There seemed to be a contraption under the table. Just as I thought. There was a knife tied to the end of the contraption. What could it mean? I recognise this device. It was a simple contraption designed to let the medium knock on the opposite end of the table, making it seem like the spirit was doing it. But there was a knife on the other end, and the device was reconfigured to be longer. If the medium had tried to knock on the table, it would have been easy to accidentally kill Mrs. Spook. There was a contraption under the table that was originally supposed to be used as a knock to knock the table, but had been reconfigured to stab whoever was sitting opposite the medium. Mrs. Spooked. She'd been stabbed deeply in the chest. There was a large blood stain. Reminded me of my own seances. Found all the clues. It's time for a seance of my own. You're right. You were right, Game Master. This is right up my alley. So the medium was the murderer. He had reconfigured the table knocking contraption into a murder weapon. Or so you clearly want me to think. I'd seen a major problem with this theory. It had to do with the knife. The knife was simply tied to the table knocker. It wouldn't move out and in. It would move up and down. Effectively useless. Right. Well, I had to be sure. At the other end, I pushed the table knocker. To my surprise, it pushed the knife outward. Why did it do that? The knife being tied to the device is preventing the up and down movement. So it had no choice but to be pushed out and in. So the theory works after all. But something was still bothering me. The knife was secured to the table knocker with what looked like cloth-based tape. Wasn't jutting out very far. Well, it was jutting out pretty far, but not far enough. Judging by where the victim was sitting, wouldn't have reached them. This kind of ruins the original theory. The knife didn't even reach the victim. Then maybe someone set up the table this way in order to frame the medium, which would make the second suspect, the other participant in the seance, the most likely murderer. This was good. Maybe there was someone else at the crime scene that would confirm this theory. Yeah, I'm liking this voice more. There was something on the leg of the chair. Bit of rope. No idea what to make of it. Luckily, I had a solution for things I didn't know what to make of. My method. Ouija. A Ouija board. A Ouija board. A Luigi board. A Ouija board. A Ouija board. A board. Board. Click begin on the board to give your answer give you the answer you're seeking. Then select the correct completed answer. Okay, what's it going for? You also shouldn't fuck with Ouija boards. You. Q. R. 1. Replay. I didn't get that. Oh, that's why they're doing it wrong. That's why they're doing it wrong. Okay. They're doing the Ouija board wrong. It's not, that's not how the planchette works. H I D E N
Yes, that was it.
hidden. Because on an actual planchette, it's not what the tip points to, it's what's in the middle of the little circle, the glass circle. That's why the glass circle is there. So they were just using the Ouija board wrong.
What else can this stupid thing tell me?
That's why I was getting confused, because we just did it wrong. Right. What are we going for? P A S P A S A G, oh, hidden passage. Okay.
Yes, that was it. Hidden passage. But where is it?
K E H E N D. Behind.
Yes, that was it. Behind what? Don't tell me.
B-O-O-K, bookcase.
Yes, that was it.
Mort, that's fucking hilarious. You are now possessed. It was a succubus. Spirit, 2 whole days.
Hidden passage behind the bookcase. What a cliché.
So the bookcase had a hidden passage behind it. Usually these types of things were triggered by a fake book of some kind. But if what I was thinking was correct, then the person who opened it was sitting at the table, which meant the trigger had to be near the table. Like the button on the floor or floorboard or something. Stuck my foot around the different floorboards until something clicked. There it was. My Ouija board always got it right somehow. Weight was at the bottom of the stairs. Tied to the weight was a long rope. What could this mean? The rope was left over from when the chair had been used to tie the weight. What could it mean? I found the clue that I'd missed before. Now what I needed to solve was now all I needed to do was solve the mystery.
Wow, you really went the hidden bookcase route.
What are you talking about? I can't be blamed for this. I didn't come up with it.
Okay, I determined there was a rope on the chair, and a weight tied with a rope tied to it at the bottom of the hidden staircase. So obviously that could only mean... So the weight was tied to the chair, which means it would have pulled the chair forward towards the knife. That solves the problem of the knife not being near enough to the victim. But why did the weight suddenly pull the victim closer to the table? The killer must have put the weight on the bottom shelf. When he activated the bookcase, the weight fell and rolled down the stairs, pulling the victim forward towards the knife. It's pretty simple when it came down to it. But the elaborate nature of the trick suggested Mastermind Riggs was the one responsible for coming up with it. Since this was the case, there's no reason to suspect anyone else except for the medium committing the crime. Only a medium was the right person to push the knife towards the victim. Submit.
You are correct. Your score on this mystery is 100%.
Wonderful. Do I win?
Please wait here for this room until everyone's done solving their mysteries. We'll announce the winner as soon as it happens.
Oh, good. Somehow, despite my bogus method, I've been able to solve the case again. But if I won, would I be able to pull that kind of thing off to defeat the mastermind? I was a little sceptical of my own chances. Oh, I don't want to play as him. Come on. We're going to have to play as everyone. It hadn't clicked in my brain that if we were playing as everyone, we were also going to have to play as him. Okay. Chapter 73. My friends are dead people. The 5th stage has begun. Detective Noman has always been distrustful of the Game Master, and authority in general. But now it seems he's decided to continue in the mysterious detective contest. Who will win the 5th stage? Game Master? No Game Masters. I'd seen their faces. There was a lot of information to take in. At least it was down to the last 10 detectives. Hopefully they all get out of my way.
Hurry to your rooms. Now.
Before I could do anything, Evereve shot past me. She rushed inside the nearest door. Great. Now I had to go up the stairs. Doors were slamming closed all around me. Everyone was finding a door except me. Wonderful. Did that billionaire Game Master think I was going to run around for him? He was mistaken. The upstairs door was occupied as well, but there was another door leading to a hall. Just my stupid luck. All the rooms here are occupied. Great. No choice but to head back to the other side. As I headed down the stairs, something caught my eye. There was a sign above an empty space on the wall. Seemed like something to investigate. I gave the wall underneath it a slight push. A secret door opened. Finally, I'd found a place to go. We get to see what his gross method is, though, that everyone keeps talking about. Everyone keeps talking about how gross his method is. I wonder what it's actually going to be. I was in.
I was wondering if anyone would find this room. It's me, Game Master Kane. I was the one with the nicest face. Here's your case file.
I'm enjoying doing the Game Master's voices now that they're announcing which one of the Game Masters is the one talking. Stage 5 basement. Dead Broke. With Mr. Broke and Mr. Grubber. Mr. Broke, who had been hounded relentlessly by Mrs. Grubber, a debt collector, was found dead at 4:50 p.m. The money in this basement was missing. You don't have access to the autopsy report. Get to work, detective. At least the Game Masters were being a little more honest with me, but they were still far too secretive to be trusted. Should have left while I was on the train. A wall safe is open and empty. Maybe Mr. Broke was going to put something inside. Mr. Broke seemed friendly. Wasn't the greatest the Game Master had presented to me, but worth stealing anyway. I could always use more interesting friends. Oh no, he's not got an unappealing character design. Character design-wise, this guy's good. It's just the way he talks reminds me of Asmongold. Some weird stain on the carpet. There's always a weird stain on the carpet. When would the Game Master think of something more original? Well, time for my method. Oh, he just fucking licks things. I was expecting worse. I thought that it was going to be that he cuts open the bodies and looks at the organs or something, like he was a coroner, as well as a, detective. I thought the whole thing was going to be that he took apart the bodies or something. He just licks things. Which, not great for your health, but not that bad.
I was thinking worse. Okay, no, that's kind of gross. The way that looks is kind of gross. I'm not making those noises. I knew that it was a taste I knew well. Other than the carpet. The same was alcohol. Alcohol and spit. Had the victim been chugging alcohol before he killed himself? Oh, wow, how poetic. Sensitivity to real victims of suicide apparently wasn't on the Game Master's agenda. Or perhaps the poor writing was part of the mystery. Boo-hoo, I am sad. Goodbye, Mr. Broke. I found all the clues to the painfully boring mystery. Time for a painfully boring deduction. The setup definitely looks like a simple suicide. Mr. Broke with a note, hung himself. Done. Ooh, actually, looking at his shirt closer. Is it supposed to be like a rib cage? Right? Do we think so, chat? Is he actually kind of girly pop? Is he actually kind of maybe goth baddie? No, he's not. He's not. He's not. He's not. But like, mayhaps? He's wearing a skeleton shirt. But you guys never make it that easy, do you, Game Master Kane? You're trying to trip me up here. And I bet it has something to do with what's in the case file. When I saw the empty safe, there was a rather obvious possibility I missed. There was money inside it and it was stolen. Mr. Grubber, the debt collector, has motive to steal Mr. Broke's money. It's possible there was a homicide disguised as a suicide, and it's also, as is so often the case in murder mystery stories, that's not unheard of in real life either. If that was the case, then I would need more proof than what I had. Maybe there was something in the crime scene I'd missed. Well, there's a staircase there, mate. Have you been up the stairs? Well, if I'd missed a clue, it'd probably been the vent. I pushed at it. It turned easily. It was very simple to pry away. A bottle had been resting behind the vent. It looked like some kind of poison. Interesting, interesting. Maybe the Game Master wasn't giving me a stupid mystery. Maybe this one would actually be good. I found a clue that I missed. Maybe now this mystery would be a little more complex. Probably wouldn't, though. The poison bottle in the vent changes things. Don't know why Mrs. Grubber would hide it in there, but assuming the poison was used to kill Mr. Broke instead of hanging, there's only one good reason to do that. Hiding a poison bottle at the crime scene could be to frame him for murder. However, there wasn't another murder in the mystery for him to be framed for. So that didn't make much sense. I didn't mean that. Ah, of course. If Miss Grubber had tried to hang Mr. Broke, he would have struggled, making it difficult. When suicide is really a homicide, often there will be scratch marks on the victim's neck, showing that they were trying to get the rope off. But there are none on Mr. Broke. Yeah, I think I've come to the conclusion that his blue skeleton shirt is kind of girly pop. Good for him. Good for him. I used to walk around in skeleton suspenders. So, like, I get it, Queen. I get it. Go off. I have about 1 billion skeleton shirts. That would be because Miss Grubber poisoned him first, preventing a struggle and making it easy to hang him up. This would mean this is a murder and Miss Grubber is the murderer. This solution's left out a very important detail, something I discovered early on but hadn't focused much on yet. The stain I tasted, it was alcohol. Why would the victim have alcohol in his mouth? The only substance I would expect to be in there would be poison. Didn't make any sense. Was the victim poisoned or not? Was there a way for me to prove he wasn't? Of course, it should have been obvious from the start. Poison victims are always blue, so Mr. Brooke was never poisoned. If that's the case, why place the poison in the vent? Why empty the safe and leave it open? There's only one thing I can think of. Suicide, homicide, suicide. This isn't a suicide, and it isn't a homicide disguised as a suicide either. It's a suicide disguised as a homicide disguised as a suicide. We're 3 levels deep now. We're in the Matrix. Game Master Kane was determined to twist my brain into a pretzel. Mr. Brooke had no way out because he was broke, so he decided to frame Mrs. Grubber for his murder by making it look like she disguised it as a suicide. That's why she left the poison bottle in such an easy-to-find location. He wanted the detective to find it and think Mrs. Grubber poisoned him. The only problem was that he didn't actually want to poison himself, either because he was scared to or because he thought he might die before completing the setup of the mystery. So he chugged alcohol instead of poison. But what he didn't count on was spitting up what he drank all over the carpet, allowing me to taste his last drink, and name him as the true culprit responsible for his own death. Submit. The solution you submitted was correct. However, you made a few errors. Your ranking may suffer as a result, as we judge you. I don't care. No, man, you wanted to run like a fool for a time. But good for you. This isn't counted as part of the mystery. Nice going. Now sit tight. Can't let you out until everyone's finished solving their mysteries. It had been a rather simple mystery, but not entirely unenjoyable. According to the rules, there were 2 detectives who wouldn't get to solve mystery at all. Sad day for them. I decided to steal the dummy. It would be my new friend. He just likes to collect the dummies. You know what? Go off. Go off, King. You've redeemed yourself. Kind of. You've kind of redeemed. You're still a dickhead to everyone else. So you're not entirely redeemed. But, like, you're kind of redeemed. A little bit redeemed. I was expecting his thing to be so much worse than it was. I was honestly expecting it to be so much worse than it actually was. Chapter 74. Stabbing crime in the neck. Detective Celette is well known in the contrast as being an especially dangerous detective. Will she be the one to win the 5th stage? Right. Manic energy. Time for manicness.
Yuck, nothing this guy was saying made any sense. It was time to get to the slashing mysteries. Everything was taking so long. Why were people talking? All they did was stand around talking. Blah, blah, blah. The rules, blah, rules. All that boring stuff was not useful. Let me loose. Let me go. Blah, blah. Time-based rankings. Blah, blah. Skill. Blah, 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 blah. Simply too many detectives. Blah, blah. 8 game masters watching. Blah. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Hurry to your rooms. Now.
I didn't need to wait for his now. Game Master was always talking, telling me what to do. I don't need him to tell me what to do. The only thing I ever did in this contest was rip into the mysteries. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, Game Master guy. You're gonna let me inside your door, Game Master. I'll show you what a real mystery slaughter is all about. Yes, inside, 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 inside. Bitch, is she on the correct... Is she in the correct place? Should she be here? I'm mildly concerned. She has brass knuckles. I'm mildly concerned. Should she be here? Should she be here? Are we sure that she's not going to go on a killing spree? I'm a criminal game master and blah blah blah. Give me the fucking case file. Blah blah blah. Something about me being the rudest detective ever. Stage 5, Spa. Just relax. Mr. Visco, Miss Valley. Miss Valley and Mr. Visco, long-time frenemies, both went to the spa together. When the masseuse returned to the room at 5:05 p.m. after putting hot rocks on Mrs. Valley, he found Miss Visco had been murdered. You don't have access to the autopsy report.
Knock yourself out, Celeste, and I mean it. Making a mystery in a spa is supposed to be the most relaxing time, not a murder time. Laziness, I'm going to sink myself into this mystery. We don't get to look at anything, we just get to press a button. Time to get to work. She trashed it. Okay.
What is this in the suspect's footrest? There's a hole in the footrest. Someone hiding inside? Screen with a hole in it. Did I make that hole? No, I didn't make that hole. That hole was always there. I know it.
This is kind of fun. Doing her is kind of fun. Hi Belladonna, you're about to see me be fucking unhinged. Because we're currently playing as someone fucking unhinged. So, at the moment, we're going around, there's 10 detectives left. And we're playing as each of the detectives, solving their individual cases. Because we're reaching the end of the competition. Not the end of the game. End of the competition. And the girl, as the detective we're playing as now, and we're pretty sure that she would kill someone. She's fucking unhinged. She trashed the room before doing any detectiving. She walked in, fucking hulked out, destroyed the room. She's fun.
This is Mrs. Valley. She is a prime suspect. I didn't like her very much. This here is no doubt the murdering tool. Sharp, long knife. This is the kind of knife I would get. It has range, and it looks cool. Rocks. They are hot to the touch. Bash. Did they bash the victim? A remote. It make the bed go up and down, and even make the bed tilt from side to side.
I need you all to know that as I am voicing this character, I am also rocking backwards and forwards in my chair. I am hunched over Gollum style, and also rocking backwards and forwards in my chair. This is character acting, people.
Her name was Miss Cisco, never forget. She has been stabbed in the neck. That's hard work, respectful murderer. Time to figure this all out. This mystery seems to be about how the killer killed with hot rocks on her back. Yeah, I like to have some hot rocks on my back right now. Instead, I have to crush this mystery. Detective's work is never done. Place I always start is murder weapon, the knife. Let that knife get in the room. Yeah, that's right. There was a hole in the footrest. How could I forget? The killer put the long sword in the footrest. If she did that, she would roll it up underneath herself without disturbing the rocks on her back. This is it. Mystery solved. Wait. But how did she reach Miss Visca through the screen? Is that why there is a hole in the screen? Couldn't be. That screen was now upside down because the way I flipped it. It satisfyingly flipped, I remembered. Which meant that the hole had been upside down too. Good shit. What was that hole for? Oh, good. Yes. That remote I found on the floor, it had 5 buttons on it. One for up, one for down, one on, off, off. And one big round one that was for tilting the bed. She could have had that remote snuck through the screen. Then she could have snuck it in the armrest on the bed, which let her raise until Miss Bisco's bed too. It was all slapping together. Yes, I'm the cleverest. This is all I need to murder this murderer. Just one more thing I didn't solve, I think. Don't hurt me. 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 What was I doing again? The knife got in the vase by being tossed in the vase. That is how I could have done it. I would have done it. Not that I would ever murder people. I only murder crime scenes. That is all. That is all. I was done slashing up this crime. Fucking submit. Take that, stupid game master.
You are correct. Your score on this mystery is 1,000,000,000%.
Yeah, that is what I always do. Where is Maine? Where is my friend Maine? You know where he went? Where did he went?
He's not in the contest anymore.
No, he will always be in the contest.
He will always be in the contest.
I knew it.
You will not be allowed to leave this room until everyone has solved their mysteries. Please don't break anything else. Please, Celeste. This setup was very expensive. Do you know how much spa beds cost?
The mystery had been slashed, gutted, strung, and desiccated, caught and choked and decimated. My work was done for now, but it would be stuck around because I am going to win the contest. I am going to win. You see. You see.
She's fun. She's fun. I actually kind of want her to stay in the contest because I want to play her again. That was fun. That's not what Evil Pigeon sounds like. But, like, she is fun. She is fun. Okay, we've got a watching room. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting another watching room considering all of the detectives know who everyone is now. Chapter 75, The Watching Room, Part 15. The 5th stage is underway. How are things going for the Game Masters who recently revealed their identities to the detectives for the first time in the contest? We were on 74, weren't we? Or 75? So 75 plus 15. Because these aren't included in the chapter numbers. So 75 plus 15 is 90. Oh, we've got to be near the end then. If we've done 15 of these kind of chapters and 75 of the other kind of chapters, that means that we are... No, I'm wrong. Yeah, it happened right at the beginning, Belladonna. The Game Masters were forced to reveal themselves to the detectives because they all threatened to leave if they didn't, and they need the detectives there, otherwise the contest stops. Well, the gang's back together again. We were never apart. We've been stuck together the whole time. Greg. Who do I... Do I detect a lack of team spirit? You do not detect anything because you're a horrible detective, Greg. Good one. Where's the office supplies? Time to post-it tag. It's all missing. Oh no. Do you think the detectives trust us to do stuff now? No, they're always suspicious. They're detectives. But I will say this is the most unruly bunch of detectives I've ever seen. Never had Conver do damage control to this extent. He must have pretty annoyed about it. He did only tell all of that because he's Game Master Indigo, because of Game Master Indigo, I think. She convinced him to continue this contest. Good thing she did. Now we get to use his mansion. Yeah, Greg. But to be honest, I'm not thrilled about the criminal Game Masters. They may have helped us out this time, but who knows what those funny guys are planning. Oh then, Millie, we're all on the same team. No, we aren't. We're literally on different teams. The team of life, Millie. Great team of life. We are all connected. And we've got to act that way. Compassion, forgiveness. I forgive all the murderers I catch. Except Game Master Indigo. She was a horrible opponent. She poisoned all the witnesses in the final stage. I was left with nothing. It was a miracle I solved it. But I did, because of my fantastic skill. I don't forgive murderers. That seems like a pointless thing to do. It's the victims' families that should forgive them, right? Besides, forgiveness, blame, fault. None of it means anything. I could say I forgive someone. It doesn't mean I actually have. Anyway, let's not talk about this anymore. You weren't talking about it, Melly? It's got a point there. Speaking of points, the pencil game. No. No? No, Reg. Stop it. You're scaring me. You're scaring all of us. Stop it with your grains, Greg. You insist, but now we'll all be bored. I can't think of anything more boring than the pencil game. Even watching wet paint dry on a field of growing grass doing its taxes. Well, what is exciting about this stage is that all the rounds are happening simultaneously. So there's less time to wait. Yeah, the game masters kind of have gotten philosophical on us because there's less detectives now, so they're more bored. Cool, well, I'm done with Ainz. What about you, Clark? Yeah, already done with Mackle. That's why I'm standing here. Norman isn't done yet, he's solving it. He was late. 795 is done. Boy, his was weird. Maybe he solves it quickly. Guess I'll have to wait for the signal from the criminal game masters. And then we'll see who the winner of the 5th stage is. Mackle! I like Mackle. I don't think Mackle's gonna win, but I like Mackle. She's cool. Chapter 76. Cool guess. Detective Mackle has spent most of the contest fed up with the game master. Now she's determined to give the contest a shot. Does she have what it takes to win the 5th stage? Oh, she's got CYMK nails. I didn't notice that before. She's got CYMK nails. That's cool. So this was all? That security CEO was running the contest? Definitely explained why he was such a creep. Wondered to myself, once we get out of the contest, would it really be possible to hold him accountable? No, there was only one way to learn all his secrets. To win the contest. Challenge accepted. The other detectives had a distinct air of loser about them.
Hurry to your rooms. Now.
I also didn't notice that she had blonde eyebrows. I shoved the others aside and ran towards the door I had my eye on. Time to show them what I could do when I get serious. The other detectives were still fumbling around looking for doors. Nobody got in my way. I was in. Good day, Mackle. Game Master Clark here. You going to only be nice to me? What are you talking about? I've always been nice to you. I'm always nice to the trash I see on the side of the road. I pick it up and then I make sure to put it where it belongs. The rubbish bin. Here we go again with the insults and belittlements. You've always been the most toxic detective, Mackle, and I know that you... And I hope you know that I do not appreciate it. Easy case file, you angsty troll. Stage 5, the billiard room. The unlucky ball. Mr. Goodsport, Mr. Kent. Mr. Goodsport was found dead at 5:12 a.m. The previous night he had challenged Mr. Kent to a high-stakes game of billiards. Mr. Kent was arrested, but claims the death was accidental due to underestimating his own strength. You do not have access to the autopsy report. This great mystery has been totally wasted on you. Enjoy. Hopefully the creep would leave me alone. But he was right about one thing. The mystery did look pretty great. The billiard balls were set up in pre-game mode, but the 8-ball was deliberately left out. How significant was this? The 8-ball also is the one with blood on it. The cue. The cue is the reason I never play billiards. Didn't want to scratch the table with my aggressive playing style. Billiards is fun. I like pool more. Yeah, the game's got, like, even better. I don't know what it is about this set of chapters, but it's improved a lot, actually. The writing and stuff. I think because they're writing less characters, they have more of a chance to write, like, good one-liners and stuff. Because I thought that there was an improvement last chapter as well, with the criminals. Because the criminals were some of my favourite characters so far. Playing as them. And now there's been an improvement in the detectives as well. So I think that the writing has just improved. I also prefer pool. I don't like all of the extra rules that are added with billiards. Yeah, we got to play as Killer Soul last stream. The VOD is still up. You could still go back and see the funny bits that happened during the criminal case, the criminal section. We got to play as Killer Soul, the big guy that can escape prison. And Belladonna, you're gonna be extra sad. You missed the useless lesbian criminal. There was a useless lesbian criminal. How much is this game on Steam? It wasn't expensive when I bought it, but I think I got it on sale. A useless lesbian. There was a useless lesbian last time. Toxic Yuri. Toxic unrequited Yuri. Because the other criminal she was obsessed with was not into her. Right. This game... Okay, so... Facts about this game. Came out in 2020. I thought it came out more recently than that. Cost-wise... It is, at the moment... Oh, because I've already bought it, it's not letting me see how expensive it is. Okay, so the game by itself, without the, like, extra stuff, because there's versions of the game that have, like, the soundtrack and stuff, it's about £16.75. So about... We'll say it's about 17 quid. 17 British pounds, roughly. A little bit less. Yeah, 17 quid isn't bad. It's a really long game, and it's been good. The writing is good. Like, if people... This is probably going to be on my end-of-year list, along with the game we played last, the other game we played, where I've got Junie to start writing them down for me. Where she writes down the games that are potential candidates for Game of the Year. The 8-ball, covered in blood. Was a good look, but probably not meant to be cosmetic. Mr. Goodsport, he had a large hole in his chest. Blood was running into the carpet. It's a nice carpet too. Nice trim, quality fibre. What a shame. There are a few possibilities I could think of based on the evidence I found, but I wasn't too happy with them. Okay, so there's a bloody billiard ball, guy with a big hole in his chest. A pretty big idiot not to realise what happened here. Hole in his chest matched the size of the 8-ball. Well, so that one. Such a genius. Okay, so the 8-ball was the murder weapon, duh. Now the hard part. How in the world did Mr. Kent punch a hole in Mr. Goodsport's chest with an 8-ball? Maybe the cue is rigged somehow to provide a larger amount of force? Some kind of internal spring. I checked the cue thoroughly. Nothing. Seemed that wasn't the answer after all. Now what? I had no idea where I'd gone wrong, but clearly I missed something. It's time to check the crime scene again to see if there was anything I'd missed. Okay, I was missing something, obviously. Something big. It's time to thoroughly investigate the billiard table. Luckily, I knew how such things were constructed. The bolts were already loosened, so it looked like the game master wanted to peek inside. Huh. Now we were getting somewhere. A battery. First time I'd seen a billiard table use a battery. But it reminded me of something. And if I was right about this mystery, I need to check the 8-ball again. Billiard balls were set up in a pre-game mode. The cue. The explosive billiard fucking... I know what you're talking about. The explosive pool cue. Yeah. I remember that episode of I Did a Thing. That was funny. I fucking love I Did a Thing. He's so funny. His fucking... The spearfishing one was fun, where he made his own spear gun using like PVC pipe. That was entertaining. My theory was right. There's likely something different about this 8-ball. Time for a thorough examination. Object. Click on the highlighted parts to discover more about the object. Billiard ball. Materials, acrylic or plastic resins, possibly Bakelite. Bakelite's cool. For people who don't know what Bakelite is. So I've done a lot of jobs. And in a lot of different areas. And one of my jobs I worked for a charity as the online sales person. So when you get more valuable things in for a charity when someone dies and donates their stuff, sometimes the more valuable stuff will be sent to be sold online instead of in the shops, so that you can get so that the charity can get more money for it, which people feel different ways about. I'm not going to get into the how people feel have different opinions on selling stuff for charity on eBay, because I've seen the spectrum of opinions while I worked there. But Bakelite, you get a lot of Bakelite actually in the stuff that we would get, like Bakelite statues, lamps. You'd have Bakelite lamps where the body of the lamp was Bakelite. You could get door handles made of Bakelite, telephones, like the old style phone. That's probably the thing that you would recognise the most as being Bakelite. The old black phones. Those are Bakelite. You'd sometimes get jewellery. Not very often, though. It's not a very common jewellery material. It's more things like old style telephones, stuff like that. It's basically it's a kind of plastic that they don't really use for things anymore. You'd have clocks and stuff made out of it too. Or tea sets. I'd seen a Bakelite tea set once or twice. Dice. You get a lot of Bakelite dice in old board games. Because it's a pretty strong plastic. A really strong plastic that's not particularly malleable. But yeah. I just thought it was interesting that they brought it up. And I was like, I know what that is. I used to have to identify this sort of thing. Because, I think part of the reason I like Mackle so much is because her method is pretty similar to, what I used to do when I did that job. She just has to know about objects, know what they're worth, know what they're made of, know, how they were constructed, that sort of thing. And I really enjoyed that job. Weight between 5 ounces, 5.5 ounces and 60 ounces, or 6 ounces, or 156 grams to 170 grams. Top manufacturers: Jasper Blokes Games and Good Shop, Strange Yankees Pastime Co. The blood covering the ball was getting in the way. That was better. Ball's weight seemed a little too heavy. Should have weighed between 5.5 and 6 ounces, according to my memory. What was up with that? Older billiard balls were made of Bakelite. Today's pool balls are usually made of acrylic or plastic resins. Huh. I didn't know it was also used in guns. I wouldn't know, because I don't know fuck all about guns. UK gang, rise up. We don't know fuck all about firearms. Woo! Rise up, UK gang, we don't know fuck all! It would be, if I could get, I think, it's an interesting material. The way it looks compared to other plastics is interesting. This ball seemed different. What was going on under the surface? I need to scrape away and see. Luckily my nails were perfect for that kind of thing. Unknown material. Definitely something under there. As I thought, the ball wasn't made out of resin or acrylic. It was made out of silver. Pure silver. This was very important. I had a pretty good idea what was going on. If I was right, the solution to this mystery. I had a pretty fun solution after all. Nice play, Game Master. That's more like it. When I opened the table, I found a battery. The positive and negative wires were attached to two sides of the metal rail and had been tweaked to slope upwards, not downwards, as is usually the case. There's only one thing this could be. They made a fucking railgun out of the pool table. Cat, they made a fucking railgun out of the pool table. That's sick! Mako got the coolest mystery. Mako got one of the coolest mysteries of the game. Fucking... You know what? The Game Master was correct. You did get one of the cooler mysteries in this game. That's sick as fuck. They made a railgun out of a pool table. I want to know if that would actually work. A railgun. A railgun consists of two powerful metal rails. At one end, the rails are connected to an electrical power supply, the battery in this case. If the conductive projectile is inserted between the rails, it completes the circuit. This produces a Lorentz force, which accelerates the projectile along the rails at an extremely fast and deadly speed. This killer, this genius, actually turned a billiard table into an enormous gun. I'm actually kind of impressed. Now I needed to point out the projectile. The 8-ball specifically. Examining what should have been the resin ball, I found that it was actually made of silver. Silver is superconductive metal. The free electrons move through metal like billiard balls, transferring energy as they knock into each other. Silver and copper are metals with single free-moving valence electrons. The valence moves throughout the metal with little resistance, making these metals more conductive. The billiard table was the gun and the 8-ball was the bullet. All Mr. Kent had to do was make sure Mr. Gertzwald was standing at the end of the table and knock the 8-ball into a pocket. A little tricky to pull off, but for someone who played billiards regularly, not impossible. It'd been a pretty great mystery after all. I always liked it when the weird stuff was turned into weapons. Submit. You are correct. Your score on this mystery is 100%. Yeah, sounds about right. You will not be allowed to leave this room until everyone has solved the mysteries. You'll also stop listening to the feed from this room, so you can't utter as many insults as me as you want. I won't hear them. Stay tuned. So the Game Master was trapping me in a room. Lame. At least I had my phone to keep me occupied. I was surprised they hadn't taken it away. Guess they didn't know about it. I had cell service and cool new games to play, but no internet for some reason. Was the Game Master behind that? Who knew what sorts of technology I had at his disposal? Find out soon enough, when I won the whole stupid contest. Clownboy! You're back! Let's go! We get to play as Clownboy again. Chapter 77. 7 whatever's Big Adventure. Oh, that's why they fucking went with me. They wanted him to be chapter 77 because he's been in this fucking 700s this whole time. He's been 700 and something this whole time. So they wanted to make him chapter 77. You know what, game. Game, I appreciate you, game. Whoever wrote this did a fucking good job. The meta humor is just subtle enough. Like, that it's not, like, too much. 7 Webber's Big Adventure. Detective 795's eccentric ways have made him a notable detective in the contest. Are wacky antics the right kind of method to win the 5th stage? The clock on the wall was completely wrong. It only would have been 12:15-ish. Now it was 12:55-ish, but there was no way the tomfoolery had lasted that long. It was probably because 12:15 looks cooler than 12:55. 12:55 is the kid at the back of the classroom that was born at the beginning of the year. 12:15 is getting pats on the head when it says smart answer. Nobody expects 12:15 to know anything about the world yet. It isn't surprising if 12:55 is smarter than 12:15. 12:55 has had more life experience. It doesn't have that fresh feeling. But 12:55 has more going on under the surface, and 12:15's become 12:55, so eventually, I myself was a 795.
Ready to your rooms. Now.
Look, oh look! OC, 795. Funny 795. Run 795. Run. Almost there. I decided to go through the hallway. I was in. Just beyond the door was a set of stairs. Well, look, here it is. It's you, Detective 795. And it's me, Game Master Greg. It's you, huh? You're the boring white guy with the brown hair, right? How'd you know that? Anyway, here's the case file. Stage 5, attic. Something's fishy. Mr. Turner. Miss Turner was found dead at 5 p.m. Her abusive husband, Mr. Turner, was arrested. How did she die? You do not have access to the autopsy report. Get solving, buddy. What a fun guy. It's almost as fun as that time I had throwing up at the amusement park. Such a funny story. I told it exactly 49 times. I must tell it a 50th. Then the ritual will be complete. Okay. I think I forgot how much I fucking love the clown boy. He's so silly. Oh my god, are we about to get clown music? No, but close enough. No, but close enough. You know what? This is a bop. Okay, fishbowl. Seemed to be a fishbowl. Jokes wrote themselves. Choose the funniest joke. Keep trying, but I can't seem to drown this fish. Something's fishy over here. Going to bowl you over with my deduction. Bit of a stretch. Yeah, super lazy. This fish must have some kind of divine protection or something. What did it have to do with the mystery? Okay, this is gonna be bad for me because I don't know what jokes are funny. Mrs. Turner. Okay, yeah, no. Green skin must be environmentally friendly. That's right, folks. It's a brand new development. Green skin. Never seen anything like it before, except after a few hundred drinks at the bar and a go to the pumpkin patch ride. But seriously, it's not just the latest hipster trend to help save the planet. It's an important clue to this mystery. I've just got to figure out what it could mean. After finishing for clues, it was time to attic this mystery, using the power of my mind. Interesting. Looking at the evidence, there's definitely only one solution. In a furious rage, the fish attacked, and bit her all over, and then... Fine, you want the real answer? You're no fun at all. She must have choked on a fish meal. The green colour is the colour of being sick. As I pondered over this incredible solution, I soon realised it wasn't that incredible. It was actually lousy. Where did I go wrong? Well, when in doubt, there's only one thing to do. One trick that always worked. At least it hadn't failed me yet. Standing on my head, and almost instantly, I saw something new. A bit of rope on a high beam. How could I have missed it before? Oh, come on. That's funny. You just don't know good comedy. They didn't like the shoehorned reference, it seemed. Now that I found this, maybe there would be something else at the crime scene. Rope still attached to the chair legs. What was funny about this? Think. Time to get a leg up on this mystery. See, the trouble is, I don't know what he finds funny. Good enough. What can I figure out from this? Well, it really turned things on their head. This mystery had been spun in a new direction. I was flipping out. I just couldn't stand it. Or rather I could, but only on my head. As usual, my incredible technique had saved the day. Okay, there's a rope on a beam and ropes on the chair legs. If you put those things together, you get... The chair legs were attached to the beam, so it could just be there? Like a safety rope or something? No, that couldn't be it. I believe the rope is a remnant of a pulley device. It was used to turn Mrs. Turner upside down. Yep, welcome in, Ash. Yeah, we're playing Methods, the detective competition. We're just dealing with our favourite clown boy. There's like 200 characters in this game, and we're narrowing it down slowly. We've got 10 detectives left. Thanks for the hydrate, more. I had a sippy. Now all I had to do was figure out what the point of that was. That green colour is bothering me, but I think I finally know what it means. Motion sickness from being flipped upside down? That was impossible. Everyone liked being upside down. There's no way they could kill somebody. I didn't think of this at first, since I thought the pool mystery in stage 2 would have had a green dummy. Then I remembered, none of the victims died from drowning in that mystery. So what I think happened is that she flipped upside down and drowned in the fishbowl. Such a simple mystery. His fucking little dance is back. His little dance is back. He's so good. He's so good. Was that all it would take to win the contest's 5th stage? Submit. The solution you submitted was correct. However, you made a few errors. Your ranking may suffer as a result as we judge you. But isn't it better to show you're not infallible? To have weaknesses and flaws that humanize you? Hello? You will not be allowed to leave this room until you want to solve their mysteries. Sit tight. Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience. Even when my jokes were bad and unfunny. Even when my thoughts were dull and boring. You wanted to see more from me. And that's all I've ever wanted. That felt sad. That felt like maybe some deep introspection. How the fuck are we going to play Raoul? Question, how the fuck are we going to play Raoul? She's blind. Oh, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Pigeon Wishes, your resident Pigeon Fae from the UK. And we're playing Methods, the detective game, or the detective competition. If you need to raid and run, like, feel free, hun. What were you up to today? Ooh, nice. Any good detective games? Also, welcome in, Electric, and all the other raiders. Thank you for trusting me with your community. We're having a lot of fun with this game right now. So for those who haven't seen Methods, the detective competition before, we started the game with 200 characters. We have worked our way down to like 20 and like 10 detectives left out of the original 200 characters. So at the moment We're near-ish the end of the game, I think. And we're about to start playing as the blind character, which I'm not sure how this is going to work, because there's only 10 characters left in the competition. We're slowly working our way through each of them. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how this is going to play, because each detective plays differently. Chapter 78, Alone. Detective Raoul has maintained her place at the top of the rankings for a while. Are her extrasensory abilities enough to win the 5th stage? It's been really fun. Oh, thank you. I've been doing voices for every character as well, so it's been like a lot of voices. Right. Let's buckle in and get ready. Let's buckle in and get ready to figure out another mystery. It seemed everything was sorted out. Everyone was always angry all the time for one reason or another. There was no need to be so upset. Emotions cloud judgment. Didn't they know that? But then again, the contest wouldn't be very dramatic if everyone acted in a mature and measured way. This way was much more entertaining.
Hurry to your rooms. Now.
I rushed past the other detectives. I could hear them all around me, but my focus was dead ahead. There was a small current of wind coming from the top of the stairway. I felt a railing. There was a room beyond the stairway, I could tell. Raoul's really climbing over the railing. She's the only way we figured out there's a room hiding over there. Yeah, she's smart and athletic. Can't wait to see what crazy thing she does next. I was standing on a wooden floor. There was a room underneath it, judging from the sound of my footsteps made. Is that where the mystery was? There were chairs nearby, but nothing seemed like a mystery. I moved forward and came to another railing. Climbing down, there was a door to the side. I entered a space that seemed, acoustically, to be much larger. It was clear something was set up there. Ah, that sound told me I'd activated something. I'd heard that other detectives entered other doors. It probably meant that I had, indeed, found a mystery. Hey, Game Master Indigo here. You found the mystery. Didn't think anyone would find this.
Indigo, are you one of the criminal game masters?
That's right. Don't worry, I just poison people. Anyway, here's the case file. Good luck.
Actually, you'll have to read me the case file, since I don't have a partner this time. And I'm, blind and stuff.
Right, fine. Guess that is in accordance with our rules. Sorry.
No worries, I'm used to disabilities not being accounted for in rules. Kinda happens a lot. So much, in fact, I've made it into a fun betting game. I'm winning big time.
Welcome to Stage 5, Concert Hall. The mystery is called Solo Performance. Miss Bow was found dead at 2:30 p.m. Her student, with whom she had a known rivalry, Mrs. Patricia, was arrested. You do not have access to the autopsy report. Good luck. Time to feel my way around the crime scene. I felt it. The shape was instantly recognizable. It was a violin. But the neck of the violin, it was broken into a sharp, sharp point. What sort of sound would it make? Ooh, sorry about you guys raiding in right as an ad started. But, good news, there shouldn't be another ad for about an hour. I prefer to have the, 3-minute ads every hour, so that, people don't get the pre-rolls. I'm glad that they're over. I didn't realise that they were happening. We haven't missed much. We've just got into the room. The character we're playing as right now is blind. So there's nothing on screen to see. I was no musician. She's touching a violin right now. Oh, thank you for the gifted, Mort. It smelled like wood and dust. I had a good sense of what this was. Violin, net broken into a sharp point. Okay, this is interesting. Because she's blind, she's obviously going to sketch out what everything looks like in the scene without actually, like, knowing where everything is. It smelled like fabric and paint. I felt around. There were raised letters, as I'd have been expecting. Victim. What sort of sound would it make? Yeah, it was made of burlap. I had a good sense of what this was. The victim, I think. Oh! Like, I can't remember where I got this detective hat. I've had it for a while now. I'll have to see if I can find it and, like, let you know if I can figure out how. Yeah, I've had the Deerstalker for a while now. I've got a bunch of them because I got them off Ko-Fi from someone who was selling like a bunch of detective VTuber assets. They're nice. It's just nice. I used to have one on my little snail friend as well, but it started getting in the way. It could have been dragon. That would make sense, I think. Does it say, actually? It might say if I look on the items themselves. No, it doesn't. That's a shame. Because it's been such a long time since I got them. Yeah, they do really good packs. I think I've downloaded some of their other stuff in the past. For like jokes and stuff. But I think I've had the hat for about 2 years now. So it's kind of hard for me to remember where I got it. Because it comes with detective coats as well. Like, and in the same pack. I just don't wear the coat because they don't work quite as well with the way my VTuber is rigged. I just like having like a little detective hat. It really gets us in the vibe. I forgot to turn my glasses on as well. There's like a whole vibe that I usually set up for this. Right, what do we think is going to be? Where do we think the... Because so far... I'm not sure how this person's died. We've not seen everything yet, but I'm not sure. Smells like fabric and paint. So this is another mannequin. What sound? Yeah, this is another mannequin. Suspect. And down near the bottom of the dummy, for once, the feet had been stitched so they had toes. Interesting. I had a good sense what this was. She's got bare feet. It smelled like plastic. Hard plastic. What sort of sound would it make? That's an amp. Ah, should not have tried that. It was a boxy object. Various knobs were on it. There was a cord in the back. It's obvious that this is an amp. It was a good sense of what this was. Found all the clues. Now to think about them. So you have a deadly concert, huh? Both the victims and the suspect play violin. But the bloody ears and amplifier lead me to believe. Mrs. Patricia plugged the violin into the amp. That gave it enough juice to kill Miss Bow. With nothing but the power of sound. It was definitely onto something, but there was a problem. Miss Patricia if Miss Patricia really used the power of sound to kill Mrs. Bow, she would have also killed herself in the process. Was there a way to explain how she avoided death herself?
Ah, that's right. Miss Patricia had bare feet. Ordinarily, this would be strange, but an interesting detail. But maybe it's the key to this mystery. I remember reading about a musician who played with bare feet. She was picking up the vibrations on the floor from her instrument. And she had to do that because she was deaf. If Miss Patricia is deaf, she wouldn't be affected by the loud violin sound at all. So there was no way she could kill herself while trying to murder Miss Bow.
Wait a second. I was super eager to go with the sound method of death, but maybe I was jumping to conclusions. If the method of death was really this through sound, then wouldn't even being deaf not really matter? If I was remembering correctly about what I'd learned about sonic weapons, the vibrations are what killed you. Meaning if Miss Patricia's eardrums were malformed or perforated, she would still have been at risk of death if the level of sound was high enough to kill her. I almost didn't catch my mistake there. Miss Bow didn't die from the enormous sound blast. What did she die from? It smelled like blood. Fake blood, corn syrup, food dye, that kind of thing. What sort of sound would it make? Okay, she gets a really interesting case as well. I'm glad that the cases are getting more interesting the further we're going with the detectives. Yeah, still made of cloth. I felt the ear carefully. It was damaged, severely damaged, more than I thought at first. I had a good sense of what this was. Now I had what I needed to find the real solution to this mystery.
Miss Bow's ears aren't just bleeding. They were really damaged. Almost like they were stabbed with something. And I think I know what could have stabbed them. The violin has a broken neck. Miss Bow could have used it to stab herself in the head.
But why would she do that?
The Game Master Indigo, said that Miss Patricia was a student of Miss Bow's. And yet they had a rivalry. Was this rivalry what was perceived on the part of Miss Patricia?
Given what I knew, what would be the motive?
The jealousy of the teacher and the talented student. Something I have a bit of experience with, not gonna lie. Miss Bow saw the talent of Miss Patricia, a talent she no longer possessed. So in ruin the promising career of Miss Patricia, Miss Bow decided to frame her for murder. She assumed that, as I did, the detective investigating would jump to the more intriguing method of death. An impromptu sonic weapon. But that was not the mundane reality.
It's kind of a boring mystery, but at least the 5th stage was out of the way now.
Submit.
You are correct. Your score in this mystery is 100%.
Thanks.
You will not be allowed to leave this room until everyone has solved their mysteries. Sit tight. I felt very lucky to be part of the contest. I was eagerly anticipating how things would turn out. Of course, I hoped that I would win. But as I'd solved mystery after mystery, and gotten paired with different interesting people, I wondered what would Detective Mackle do in the final stage? What would 795 do? What would Norman do? That would be interesting. Probably more interesting than me. No, I like her! Rael's been like a homie this whole fucking time. Rael's been nice. She's nice to everyone. She's gotten along with everyone. Rael's just generally good. I hope that she stays in the contest. Chapter 79. Dreamcatcher. Detective Esther has drifted through the contest and managed to rank pretty high in the 4th stage. Does her unconscious mind have what it takes to win the 5th stage? Ah, this is the sleepy detective. The one that falls asleep to solve the mysteries. We've not played with her before, really. We've met her before, but we've not played with her. It's kind of amazing. Little old me, making it all the way to the 5th stage. The mysteries are nothing like the disappearances and missing cat cases are usually solved. Then again, they weren't very realistic. I wasn't sure if I was getting any worthwhile experience. If I wasn't getting experience and I wasn't getting name recognition, I might as well get $1 million.
Hurry to your rooms. Now.
The door to the right near the stairs seemed promising. Everybody else rushed in that direction, so it was mine. I was a bit tired after the long walk to the mansion's front door, but it looked like I would make it in time. So who didn't get a room? Are they going to play it? Oh, I wonder. Are they going to try and play it so that Red July didn't get a room? Do we think that Red July is deliberately going to throw the contest? Because they said there's only enough rooms for 8 of the detectives. There's not enough rooms for all 10 of them. And if the only way that they wouldn't win or don't get to move to the next round is if they can't solve the mystery in their room. So there's going to be 2 detectives who leave. And I wonder if Red July is deliberately going to throw. Slakes isn't. Slakes, the other top detective, isn't going to throw. He's not the kind of person, but Red July might. I was in.
Game Master Joanne here. I'm one of the criminal ones. How do I murder people, you ask? With my lovely sharp teeth.
Don't care. I'd like the mystery now, please.
What? You don't want my life story? I'm sad, but I understand.
Stage 5, Conservatory. Sweet Death. Mr. Shrubs, Miss Snips. Mr. Shrubs was found dead at 4:30 p.m. The gardener, Mrs. Snips, is suspected. You do not have the autopsy report.
How fun.
Now I knew who it was whenever the Game Master was acting super weird. A trough ran through the garden. It led to a water fountain. Very pretty, actually, this area that there's murder's happening in. The water appeared to be stagnant. Whatever mechanism pushed the water around must have been shut off. That's probably going to be relevant. Stagnant water can be deadly. Mr. Shrubs. Did he drown? No, he was blue. That meant poison. I had that drilled into my head by now. There was something in the water. It looked like berries of some kind. Blackberries. Do we think that they're supposed to be belladonna? That wouldn't surprise me because they look like belladonna to me, which is nightshade. A creepy cherub. It's probably the murderer. Why do people think putting these things in gardens was a good idea? Gnomes were 10 times better. Agree. Hard agree. Hard agree. Gnomes are 10 times better than creepy cherubs. Hard agree. The only thing better than gnome is when the people do like those like really elaborate fairy gardens. I'm not biased at all. I'm not biased because I'm a pigeon fae. Not at all. Soon to be all the evidence. Time for... sleepy times. What would I see in my dream? Dream. Pay attention to the images your unconscious brings and then identify which ones will be most helpful. Okay, an elephant. The plant. A fly. Seeing a lot of strange images. What they were reminding me of. Those flowers, there were berries under them. And there were berries in this mystery. Those berries look familiar. Weren't those the berries of Deadly Nightshade? I fucking called it! I know what Deadly Nightshade looks like. Let's go! My generic encyclopedic knowledge of things comes in handy once again. I know what Nightshade looks like. A goose. Eating a berry. The fly again. And a swan. With its throat cut? The cherub? The broken swan, the goose eating berries. They reminded me of the winged cherub. Broken off at the pedestal. Was it responsible for the berries in the water? It was time to put this all together. Time to wake up. It was cherub.
Oh, push the cherub. Time to wake up. Yes, where was I? Okay, obviously the cherub was knocked over. Either by accident or on purpose. My guess is by accident. It'd be too suspicious for the killer to knock it over in front of Mr. Shrubs. But when the cherub was knocked over, something bad happened. The cherub knocked the berries into the water trough. Ordinarily, that wouldn't be a problem. But these berries are deadly nightshade berries, which are poisonous. Mr. Shrubs must have taken a sip of the fountain water, resulting in his death.
It was a very simple mystery. There was still something bothering me. If the statue had been pushed, that would have been one thing, but it was clearly entirely possible that it fell on its own or by accident. Which would mean Mr. Shrubs' death was accidental, not a murder. Was this really the case, though? I tried to think things through again. Mr. Shrubs owning the garden didn't mean much of anything. Was there a clue that could point out to whether...
Oh, right. The suspect, Mrs. Snips, was the gardener. Being the gardener, she would obviously know what the deadly nightshade was growing in the garden. Even if the statue falling was an accident, there's no way she would let it grow there without some sinister purpose in mind.
Thank you for the hydrate. I'll have a sippy now.
It's very unusual for a plant to be put in the garden.
Was that it? It's a very easy mystery. The thing that would win the contest for me?
Submit. You are correct. Your score on this mystery is 100%. Good, good. You will not be allowed to leave this room until everyone has solved their mysteries. Sit tight.
Now I just had to hope that the stupid cherub mystery wouldn't be my undoing. If it was, at least I could try and say I'd reached the 5th stage and get home to my cats. They were probably missing me. They were a cool character. I like the voice I did for that character. That was another one I haven't had to do a voice for yet. Oh, we're getting another killing room. That's surprising. I didn't think they would do another one of these. In this chapter, at least. I thought they'd save it for next chapter. Chapter 80. The last one for today. The Killing Room. Part of 16. As the 5th stage continues, the criminal game masters observe the detective's progress. They face a different problem. Which criminal will win the 5th stage? Now my coffee is cold. When will these detectives be done already?
Right now. Best is awake now.
Great. Does she realise how long her naps are? It was at least 15 minutes.
Shouldn't we decide which criminal created the best mystery?
Oh yeah, we should. Let's do that now. I'm a big fan of Spirited Murder. Mastermind Regs. Yeah, it was pretty good. Do we all know the worst one, right?
Solo performance.
No, I meant Dead Broke.
No, Dead Broke was good.
You just liked it because it had a hanging in it.
Yep. But solo performance was really bad. What? That was Mastermind Ulna's mystery, right? Bottom tier trash.
Well, this isn't about who had the worst mystery. Process of elimination, Indigo. Sounds like Dead Broke and solo performance are out. What about Lethal Snack? I liked it.
You liked it because it had poison in it.
Poison is boring because the detective knows right away what the cause of death was. They just have to figure out how it happened.
Right, like in Sweet Death, Dead Broke, and Lethal Snack.
Let's just disqualify all those in my opinion.
What does that leave us with?
Spirited Murder, Something's Fishy, Just Relax, and The Unlucky Bell. I like The Unlucky Ball. I want to try and murder someone with a billiard ball. Mastermind Diagnosis. How well would she do in the 6th stage, though?
I like Something's Fishy.
You just like it because it has a hanging.
Isn't that Mastermind Widow's mystery? It was kind of an obvious solution. So it was unlucky ball.
Okay then, just relax. That one's interesting because the killer was trapped in a sense. The evidence and location chosen were unique and interesting. It's down to that one, it's rooted murder for me. I'm with you on just relax. But I also like spirited murder. Even though it was a hidden bookcase cliché, that cliché deserves a double purpose. It's not just there to be a hidden bookcase.
Yes, and wouldn't that be true for any mystery using a hidden bookcase? I'm also a little skeptical about the table-knocking device. Mastermind Riggs had to make something up about the killer modifying the device to stab instead of knock the table. But a better mystery would be use that kind of device without any modifications needed, right?
Yeah, but it's entirely plausible the killer could modify the device because the killer is the medium.
I see your point. But it bothers me anyway.
Okay, is that a yes on just relax?
Just relax is okay, but the killer needed to bring a whole lot of stuff into the spa with her to pull it off. It would be better if it was an impromptu situation.
You seem to like it when the killers improvise, huh?
Yes, exactly. A killer who has to make everything up on the spot is much more clever than a killer who figures it all out beforehand, right? Or rather, not clever, but more interesting than having everything planned out and simply executing it.
These are all premeditated murders, King.
No, they aren't. Nobody saw a fishbowl and thought, I'll use this fishbowl to drown someone.
Again with something's fishy. Not good, King. Get over it. Wait. All the killer had to do and just relax was bring a sword. All the tools she needed were in the spa room.
Spa tables don't turn side to side. The killer lucked out way too much.
Starting to agree with you, King. It's just too convenient that the spa beds not only go up high enough to reach over the screen, but that they were able to turn so she could stick the sword in. Well, it's true, we had to make custom spa beds for that one, but if it's not that one, then we're out of mysteries. At least you guys are willing to take a second look at the poison mysteries.
Sweet death and dead breakdown, very good though.
What about a lethal snack? All of the evidence is plausible for a high-end kitchen in a fancy mansion. And the irony of avoiding poisoning by pufferfish and getting killed by starfruit instead is pretty funny.
It could have been spontaneous too.
Yeah, I like it. But the victim would have to be pretty stupid not to be extra cautious around starfruit. Why would she even let it in the kitchen if she knew she had a kidney disease? Well, good point. But if we take plausibility as a sole criteria, they all fail.
What criteria should we be judging it on, though?
This is to decide who should go to the 6th stage. We should pick a mystery that shows that the criminal has the mental chops to create a spectacular 6th stage mystery. I think it should be judged on the basis of complexity, because the 6th stage mystery will be the most complex one in the contest. I think that's why I was chosen for the 6th stage in my contest. And I failed, because it wasn't complex enough to stump Detective Kane.
I threw everything I had at Detective Grounds. You might be onto something there.
That's why I'm putting a pin in just relax. Not because it's especially plausible or anything. In terms of complexity, spirited murder beats them all. And yet the solution is elegant. Mastermind Riggs also came up with severance pay, right? That's who I want to see in the 6th stage. But Just Relax was created by Mastermind Cat Scratcher. Cat Scratcher is also known for consistently excellent mysteries. Not in the first few stages, it was like he needed a warm-up or something. But I agree, that recently he's been much better. He also has a surprising range. That's something Mastermind Riggs lacks. Riggs is stuck on his gimmick of using mechanisms to kill people, but Cat Scratcher can do that and more. I'm fine with either one. Well, I'm for Cat Scratcher. I want to see what he'd do at stage 6.
I disagree that Cat Scratcher's mysteries are that good, but I feel like he didn't win after he was being falsely accused of murder. We were here to judge skill, not reward people for the right extracurricular wrongs. There is certainly something about him that makes him stand out. Riggs is good too, really good. But the 6th stage, I don't know if I'd be able to utilize all the additional tools at his disposal. You know what I mean. He's a good trick mysteries, but the 6th stage is about much more cool tricks.
That's a good point, King.
Yes, alright, Cat Scratcher it is. That was easy.
Guys, am I mistaken or is there a major problem here? What?
Look at the board. All the rooms are now occupied. But the two detectives locked out are the two who were automatically eliminated. Reguli and Slakes. I fucking called it. I said, Red July's probably gonna flunk. I didn't think Slakes would, but Red July probably convinced him. Right out of the gate, the two best detectives in the contest wouldn't even have a chance to compete. At that moment, I didn't envy the detective game masters one bit. With two most obvious choices gone, how could they possibly decide which detective would win the fifth stage? Okay. We are going to save there for tonight. We'll go back to the main menu so that we get some music to listen to while we decide who to raid out for tonight. Who do I know that's streaming right now? That we haven't raided in a while. I want to do someone I haven't raided in a bit. No, I don't really have very many people. Let's just raid Junie. She's trying to finish Superliminal, which is another sort of like mystery game-ish. It's like puzzles. And Junie's my best friend, so hopefully it should be fun watching her try and solve puzzles. She's not quite as puzzle-brained as I am, but she's very entertaining. Alright. Thank you for coming in, everyone. I had a lot of fun today. We'll probably be playing this again tomorrow. If the Spooky Girls don't want to collab for something on Thursday. But honestly, I fucking called that. I knew that fucking Red July was gonna deliberately flake at the end. She's figured out what she wanted to know. She doesn't want to be there anymore. She just wanted to know who was doing the competition, and now she knows. She doesn't really give a shit anymore. She doesn't need to be there. So I wonder who is actually going to win. Because I never thought that she would. This whole time they've been upping her as the best detective. But I've thought from the beginning that she wouldn't win. Right. Anyway, let's go raid Junie. I've been Pigeon Wishes, your resident Pigeon Fae from the UK. Thank you for coming in, everyone, and I hope you all have a good night. Ta-ra, everyone.